We celebrate today All Saints. We celebrate the great history of saints within the church, shining stars, stars that lead us even in our own lives. And partly what makes them saints, what makes them so holy, is they live a new way of living which Jesus outlines for us in the Beatitudes this evening. The world doesn't understand the Beatitudes. And so when Christians really do enter into that and live in a new way, it confounds but attracts the world. So we're all called, in that sense, to be witnesses to Jesus Christ, witnesses to true love and humility in our world. And you see someone like Pope Francis, a man of the Beatitudes, really attracting people to himself. And can we also do the same? For 2 millennia now in the history of the church, many people have critiqued the church and criticized the church for a variety of things. Dogmas as well as scandals have been critiqued. But the one empirical fact that no one can dismiss is the witness of the saints. And this is one of the most important reasons why the church even exists today, the witness of the saints. You cannot refute it, you cannot debate it. It just strikes the heart when you see someone who truly is holy, when you see someone who truly is loving. It cuts straight to the heart, and it is the most convincing witness that we can give. I love this feast day. It's one of my favorite of the whole year because we have this great cloud of witnesses, all kinds of different saints from all walks of life and all different scenarios. Young, old, short, tall, rich, poor, male, female, celibate, married, gay, straight, the whole 9 yards. Saints among us. Europeans, non-Europeans, Americans, Africans, Latinos, Asians, saints among us. It's so beautiful. So beautiful the way that God raises us all up. Here come the saints. There are saints who were very powerful in their lives. King Louis of France, Sir Thomas More, Chancellor of England, Pope John Paul II. But there are also saints who have been very lowly. St. Peter Claver, St. Damien of Molokai. I know a favorite of Father Becker's. We have some super smart saints like Augustine, Aquinas, Teresa of Avila. We have some super virtuous saints like St. John Vianney himself. Super brave saints like the North American martyrs and the missionaries to Asia. Ancient saints, the prophets and the apostles, those you find in the Bible, but also new saints like St. Chiara Luce Badano. In our own time, we actually have photos and videotape of her. And of course, St. John Paul II himself. Saints throughout the ages. We have some that are officially canonized, and we have some that we are connected to in our hearts, and we just already know or have a sense that they too are saints among us. It's so beautiful how God raises up the saints. And it oftentimes seems like at just the right time in history, just the right time, God lifts up just the right saint for that time. It's a miracle. Benedict of Nursia, Francis of Assisi, Dominic, and even John Paul II himself were lifted up and given to the world at just the time when the world needed them. It's one of my favorite feasts of the whole year. They're all here with us. As we sing holy, holy, holy around this altar, it's as if a little window opens into heaven. It's as if the veil is very thin and we sing together. And if you listen hard enough, you will hear them. Holy, holy, holy Lord, God of power and might. We will sing together this evening as we do in every liturgy with the saints, because we are already meant to be part of their company. We're already meant to be part of them. All Saints' Day is not only a celebration for the quote-unquote super saints, it's also an invitation for us all. We are all called to holiness. And if that sounds a bit intimidating, you might ask, what does holiness mean? Is that a matter of piety, or what exactly is that? To be holy is to have in our heart the will of God, the love of God in our world. And what is the will of God? The will of God is that we love one another as I have loved you. It all comes down to loving one another. Well, what does that mean? It means truly wishing the good of the other. Truly wishing the good of the other in every situation. We strive for that. We strive for that kind of love. To be a saint is not meant to be an unusual thing. It is meant for all of us. And so I invite us all this evening. I invite us to make a decision. Make a decision in terms of a life goal. I don't think we want to end our lives with just a mediocre life. I invite you this evening to really think about what would it mean for you personally to be a saint. Because I can't tell you that. Nobody can tell you that. You have to discern that and feel that in your own heart and in your own prayer and in your own life. What would it mean for you to be a saint? And how can we get there? How can we learn that and grow in our faith? Decide this evening. I want to have a life that matters. Decide this evening. I want to make a positive difference in the world. Decide this evening. I want to be a light in a sometimes dark world. And as they say down in New Orleans, I want to be in that number when the saints go marching in. In today's Liturgy of the Hours, the reading in the office for reading is from St. Bernard. If you'll bear with me, I'll read it because I think it's a powerful, wonderful reading. Calling the saints to mind inspires, or rather arouses in us, above all else, a longing to enjoy their company, to be with the saints, be hanging out with them, to enjoy their company. We long to share in the citizenship of heaven, to dwell with the spirits of the blessed, to join the assembly of the patriarchs, the ranks of the prophets, the council of apostles, the great host of martyrs, the noble company of confessors, and the choir of virgins. In short, we long to be united in happiness with all the saints. The church of all, the first followers of Christ, awaits us. The saints want us to be with them, but sometimes we are indifferent. The souls of the just await us. Sometimes we ignore them. Come, brothers and sisters, let us at length spur ourselves on. We must rise again with Christ. We must seek the world which is above and set our mind on the things of heaven. Let us long for those who are longing for us. Hasten to those who are waiting for us, and ask those who look for us, look for our coming, to intercede for us. We should not only want to be with the saints, we should also hope to possess their happiness, their beatitude, if you will. While we desire to be in their company, we must also earnestly seek to share in their glory. I offer that wish for all of us. Let us all be saints.